Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Spann Report Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Spann. This is episode number 358 of the report, and tonight I got a full house with me here, y'all. I got Cook Simmons of the HIGHly Inappropriate Podcast here with us. Say what's up to the people, fam.
I'm getting high and want to say something inappropriate.
She is right now. It's happening. It's live. It's a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I got the homie Brandon from PhenomBlak. My bad, PhenomBlak of the Where's My 40 Acres podcast. Say what's up to the people, fam.
I'm not fighting Wiz Khalifa in the rain with them little shorts on, bro. Like, I'm sorry, you're not about to put me in a chokehold with your dick rubbing all up against me, bro. I quit. I give up. Tap. I'm out.
What?
You haven't seen this video?
I haven't seen it,
this
man.
nigga kickboxing in short shorts?
No, sir. I haven't seen him.
Sir.
See, that sound like a Blue Blazers story. That sound like a Blue Blazers story.
Listen, I'm not hating the man. He need to go get a bowl though and put that shit on. All right, I'm not fucking with him. Not gonna be putting me in rear naked chokeholds and shit. While feeling violated.
In blue blazes, what is going on out here? This nigga just say blue blazes.
What in blue blazes?
You said something inappropriate.
Oh,
that's
man.
That's one thing that's been on my mind all day. I'm like, this nigga is kickboxing right now.
Also, man,
we do look like a baby mother though. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
Hey, we also got a longtime friend of the show, man, and sneakerhead extraordinaire, man. Jack here is here in the chat room with us, man. Say what's up to the people, fam.
What's going on, y'all? Glad to be here.
Indeed, man. Glad to have you, brother. Real talk. Now, I told you guys I'm going to be like kind of mixing up how I do the shows, man. It ain't always going to be structured and segmented and everything else. We're going to have some conversations on this motherfucker. And one of the things that kind of sparked this particular conglomerate or this coming together of minds here was I called my man B, man. I called Brandon. Cause and I talked to you guys about this on the last episode of the podcast, man. I had an experience at a boutique shoe store, man, here in Michigan, man. This is a spot called Impossible Kicks. I'm gonna name the store. I ain't gonna name the manager though, right? Spot called Impossible Kicks, right? Me and my wife, we was in the mall. She decided she wanted to get some shoes, and first thing I noticed though when we walked in the store is they had like a wall of Jordan 1s, right? A whole ass wall. And I'm like, oh shit, damn. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing that you could do. You walk in the mall and there's Jordan 1s on the wall. Like, damn, for real? Damn, okay. So I walk over to the wall and the wall got like the Jordan 1s and I pick up like a pair that I had actually looked at a while ago. I'm not even a real big Jordan 1 dude, but I'm like, I like those. So I pick them up off the wall. Man, with like $425 for these Jordan 1s. I'm like, all right. Put them bitches back on the wall. You know what I'm saying? Put them back on the wall. I could get them, but I don't want them that bad, right? So then I seen a pair of...
Wait, so which ones was it? That was 420 something.
Okay, so I want to say they were the Royal Toe Jordan 1s. They were
the blue and the black joint.
They're blue, black, and white.
Okay, yeah, that's too much.
The white panel, right?
That's too much.
Yeah, they were
go
blue,
for
black.
300. That's not even. That's too much.
He wanted 425 for them.
Yeah, his fucking mind. He wanted Hyper Royal money. Like that. That's he wanted UNC blue ones money. Like if that's what he had, then yeah, 420 whatever. I could see that. But for the Royal Toes, you can pick up the Royal Toes for $298 and a 10.5 on StockX right now. So
I'm glad you mentioned StockX because that's gonna come up later. Okay, that's gonna come up later.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So.
All I know is a 3.5 better come with their shoe if it's going to charge me $425.
Sometimes you just got to pay up.
Listen. So check it. There was another pair of J's in there that I was looking at, right? Mm-hmm. They had the Jordan 12 playoff joints, right? Now I had it on the stock joint. I mean, on the sneakers app. I was like, yo, notify me when the Jordan 12 playoffs come out, right? Because I used to be able to buy shoes on sneakers. I ain't bought shoes, no sneakers in over a year now, right? But I'm like, all right, notify me on this shit, right? So notification came, notification went. I didn't get the Jordan 12 playoffs, but I wasn't really tripping off of it, right? I'm like, all right, well, fuck it. I just didn't get the shoe. Fuck it.
What size shoe you wear, Spann?
A 9.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, nothing real like unreasonable, right?
I'm just saying I had 4 pair of playoffs, but it was 10s and 10.5. That's all.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
So
Hey, I ain't even doubting my man Phenom. He helped me get my PS5, fam. He's the truth. Okay.
I mean, I think I helped everybody get their
I'm saying.
Hey,
I'm saying.
I am a recipient of his help.
I'm saying for real. Matter of fact, there's a story behind the PS5 too. Me and Brandon, I'm gonna talk about that a little later too, right?
Hey,
bro.
Hey,
Brandon out here plugging. You the plug?
Me too.
I mean, it depends on what you're trying to get, but
Phenom is the plug, man.
I be in places and I see shit and I go for it.
Phenom the plug. Now,
But PS5s though, so you know some people.
I'm up to 6. No, I think I'm up to 7 PS5s as far as like helping people get them. I've only resold one. All the other ones I've helped people get them.
Now Greg's in the chat room. He's saying 300 all day on the Jordans, right? For the ones we're talking about. He's saying
definitely 300.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Most definitely.
Indeed. Now, I see the Jordan 12 playoff joints, and I'm like, all right, let me see how much he want for those. And he had those boys up there for $345.
Out your motherfucking mind. They are $225, dog. They are $225.
$345. So now,
and they still restocking those. Too.
And DTLR just restocked today. Full restock.
Check it. I see that, and this is when I'm like, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Let me look this shit up, right? So I pull up StockX on my phone, and I'm starting to I'm pricing the shit. Sure enough, the Jordan 12 playoffs basically going for damn near retail, about $220, $225, right, on StockX, right? I look up the Jordan 1, the blue, black, and white joints I was looking at.
Royal Toe.
Right. They wasn't going. I forget what did he say. He wanted $425 for him in there. They were going for about $300, like my man in the chat room Greg was saying in the chat room. It was going for about $300 on StockX, right? So my wife sees a pair of shoes that she likes, right? She sees a pair of SB Dunks NBA 75th anniversary Chicago Bull edition, right? Now, he was selling these shoes in this store for $300. $300. I go on StockX, pull up how much they going for on StockX. They sell them on average for about $125 on StockX. So as I'm pulling this shit up on my phone, some dude walks up behind me, right? And he says, "Oh man, you really cross-referencing prices with us in StockX?"
Yes.
And so I look over my shoulder, I'm like, yeah, nigga. Like, why the fuck not? Like,
where he getting his prices from?
Like, why the fuck wouldn't I do that? Like, why wouldn't I see if I can find these? Why wouldn't I go into Walmart and see if I could probably get these shits cheaper someplace else, right? So he was like, he goes into this spiel, man, and he was like, yo, so, StockX, man, they be selling fakes. You gotta wait 2 weeks before you get your kicks.
Now he trying to hustle you. Bye.
Hold on. You gotta wait 2 weeks before you get your kicks. I'm providing a service. You get your shoes right here, right now. My shoes ain't fake, and you can pretty much get you can walk out here right now with the shoes. And so he said,
$50 plane ticket on it, huh?
But check it though. Right? Check this is what really pissed me off about what he said though. Cause the nigga gonna say, like, he said something to me like, StockX, like they really got a bad reputation in the sneakerhead world and they should be blacklisted. Do you know what it means to be blacklisted in the sneaker world?
First of all, he said sneakerhead, so he full of shit, but go ahead.
Yeah. But my thing was this, nigga, I don't give a fuck what y'all doing in the sneaker world.
He's sitting in that store in the sneaker world. That's what he's doing.
Like, I don't care,
in the interdimensional sneaker world, bro. Like,
so wait a minute. What's the name of the subculture for sneaker enthusiasts? You not
sneakerhead?
No, it's people say sneakerhead, but like, it's not. A lot of people don't like being called because of the association of what the term actually refers to now, and pretty much it refers to hype collectors. Like that's all they do. It's nothing about like this shoe is some shit I've been eyeing for a minute because I like the material, the colorway, or I like the designer. Like I'm a Whitaker fan or I'm a Joe Fresh fan. Like it's not like that. It's just, oh, is them
It's
shits
hot.
hot? Oh, I want them. I want them because they hot. It ain't got nothing to do with that. And then it's all clout. So they don't only be chasing sneaker shit. They all up on the fucking Supreme shit. They won't buy something because it's got a little Supreme stamp on it, and they won't pay another $300 for it. Right? It's all of that shit is hype. Like I get it if you into that shit because you young and that's how them kids work. But for the most part, people in the sneaker community for real don't use the term sneakerhead. They just be like, yo, your kicks is fresh, your shit is tight. They're not really looking for a name for the community. You just like if you into it, and that's it. Like niggas know and they know they don't know. They don't. That's how it is. And
That's
I'm
why I
fresh
believe in gatekeeping.
because I'm not an old school head. I'm not old school sneakerhead by any means at all. Like I just got into this like 3 years ago. So,
but see, that's the thing. I think because you're a genuine enthusiast, and you know, if you're getting into it because you genuinely like something, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think what my concern is, even in the marijuana industry, okay, now there's people all of a sudden into it, and now we got all these designer strains and all this stuff, and now all of a sudden people want to charge you all these different prices, and it's like, nah, my nigga, I will take it to the street. But like, I get it. People come in, and then next thing you know, like they're driving up the prices, and then the quality's going down. You can't find the supply and things like that. So like the things that you all experience, like, oh, I get it on this side. Like I'm just relating it, like, you know, keep on.
Yeah. We got you, Cook. We got you.
And I was gonna jump in. I said, with the guy doing it at the mall, that's relatively new, cause like that boutique stuff, he's playing for the booth. You getting the upcharge for the royalties for the booth.
He not a booth.
No, it's not a booth. He got a whole like
his lease.
Well, the lease. He got location. They gave him some real estate.
He got a store, but he's not a real boutique because actual boutiques do not resell. They don't upsell you in the store. They getting their shit straight from Nike. They're tier 0 stores. They're not getting. They're not going to sell you a Jordan that's $200 for $300. That's not what they do. They might backdoor that bitch for $300. That's a problem. But they're not gonna sell it off the rack to you for $300 if it's in.
He's somebody who probably went on eBay or somewhere and bought a whole bunch of supply. And
he's getting them from botters. He's getting them from people who bought and then they come into the store, or he bought and he's selling them out the store like that. Like people who bought gotta move the shoes. They'll take them to him.
They gotta move them.
He'll ask them. So if the shoe worth $200, he'll be like, oh well, it's selling on. And he be checking StockX too. Don't let them niggas lie to you.
Yeah, that's what
he
like really pissed me off.
He like, oh, this shoe go for $400. I'll give you $225 for it. And the dudes who bought, they got pairs they need to get rid of, and they in the hole on their fucking visas. They done maxed out all their cards, so they like, yeah, fuck it, just take them. And he'll take them, and then he turn around and he taxing $100, $200 on them, and putting them on the shelf in the store, and then telling you don't go look on StockX because you can walk out with them on your feet today and beat the street. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
And here's the other part about it, right? So again, we go back to my wife saw shoes she liked, right? So now it's like, my wife is like, I don't know. Should I get them from here? Should I get them from StockX? Like, I don't know, baby. I don't know. I'm like, and at this point, I'm trying not to ruin this for her. Right? Because I'm on some like, man, fuck this dude. But I'm trying not to ruin this experience for my wife.
Right. You want her to have the experience, right?
All right. Get the shoes, right? We get the shoes from there. And she's like, you know, you could take these shoes back and get them from StockX. I'm like, nah. Now it's principle for me now. Like, nah, baby. I said you got the shoes. You got the shoes. The shoes done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. $300. It's gone. It's gone. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the shoes. You got the shoes. You're happy, baby. That's all I want. That's all I want. Right. But then, like, the trip that part for me was like the way he tried to come at me, and I'm like, do I got Mark written all over my motherfucking face or something? Like, or am I aging out? Because I called Brandon when I got home. I called Brandon. I said, hey, man, as a matter of fact, before I did the last podcast, and it was almost like it was going to be one of those random thoughts. But I called Brandon. I said, hey, Brandon, man, I just had this thing that happened to me at the store. Let me know if I'm tripping. Because I know Brandon is into the shoes and shit. I'm like, let me know if I'm tripping about the whole shoe shit. And he was like, can't do it tonight. Push this back, fam. Because we can talk. Can't do it tonight. But I was really feeling like I was on some like, am I becoming Uncle Spann? Am I aging out of the shit? Because like low key, like when I go buy shoes now, man, like real talk, I wear my shoes, man. I don't fucking I don't do the collector shit. I don't resell my shit. I wear my shit, right? And the icing on the cake for me with that store was when we was walking up out of that bitch. They had some bread 11s in the window, right? They had the bread 11s in the window, and my wife looked at the bread 11s and was like, "Oh, look, they got the what's the names?" And I'm like, "Okay, let me see how much they want for the bread 11s." $625 motherfucking dollars for the bread 11s, dog.
Crazy.
Do it come with 7 grams?
I mean, you got to know what you're investing in at that, because I have the breads.
I do too.
I don't wear them like talking about, but that's because I just love them so much. Like I just love how beautiful they are, and I like looking at them. Be like, when I wear them, the fit need to be tight. But
I might have worn them twice.
That's what it is with me.
I might have worn them twice.
And that was the first time. I think my breads was the first time I got an 11, right? And I've been watching 11 since I was a kid. So for me to get the breads, I was like, yo, and I still wasn't into the game tight after that, right? That was in when they released on sneakers, because that's where I got them from. I wasn't even into it like that after that. I was like, I got the shoes I wanted, I'm good to go. But the game is weird because like when those shoes drop, like people was getting them from sneakers easily. It wasn't as hard to get a pair of shoes from sneakers back then. And now getting a pair of shoes from sneakers is crazy. And it's not because there are just so many more sneaker fans. Like that's partly true, but it ain't, these fans ain't just come out of nowhere in the last 2.5, 3 years, bro. Yeah. Like that's not how it happened.
Yeah.
Nike has been like doing this for a minute to build hype, not just behind their shoe, but behind their whole brand name, the structure of the sale, the way you get people addicted. They literally bringing in people to fuck with your psychology and shit about how you deal with the shoe game, right? They want you to get euphoric when you win, and they want you to feel so depressed when you lose that you buy the next thing you hit on. Like you just try for everything. And that addiction is what they're using to feed billions and billions of dollars into their pockets. Like there's a whole strategy there. Like it's not just these new sneakerheads is different. No, because they got the old sneakerheads still doing shit that they was doing back in the day to get sneakers. And they got these new kids botting. And then they got everybody else that's fucking confused and think the only way they can get shoes is to have sneakers. Like it's weird, bro. Like it's a mix.
The interesting thing about sneakers, because like when I first got on sneakers, it was mostly because I be at work. So like I wasn't about to be like waiting in line for a shoe. You know what I'm saying? So like when sneakers first dropped, like I was like, oh shit, I don't have to wait in line. I could just like, I could buy this shit from wherever the fuck I'm at. I'm at the job and I'm buying the sneakers and they gonna be at my crib in a couple days. Okay, cool. And I was hitting on sneakers. Like it was just like, okay, just another way to buy shoes, right? And then just as like, like I said, I'm not a sneakerhead. I just buy shoes. I just buy the shit that I like. And so like it just seemed like when the pandemic hit, when people couldn't go to the stores, when people couldn't go to there was no waiting in line to go get the shit that you wanted. It just like more of those people came online. They were buying the stuff that they wanted online. It was like, oh shit, this is like I'm competing against more people to get the shit that I like, right? So I was missing a lot more. But then I started noticing like the way in which the sneaker app actually like even looks now is more so about like just like, hey, show us what your kicks look like. Show us what fits you done put. Yeah, it's like show us what picture you done put with your kicks and stuff. It's like, man, just show me the shit that y'all got for sale so I can buy these motherfuckers and get the hell up out. That's where I'm at as an old head sort of. Like I just want to see the shit that I want to like buy, man. I don't give a fuck about these kids posing with their shoes, fam.
But it's like the way they did it at first, it was more like of a brand loyalty thing, right? Like if you interact, if you immerse with the app, then you have a higher chance of winning, was the assumption. But when we found out that wasn't true, and like if you watch all the videos, if you hashtag the sneakers kicks check or whatever, and they get your picture and you follow the comic book strip shit they had up there and all of that stuff, and some of it's dope and some of it's whack. But if you followed it and you were showing love on there, like I love these kicks, I like these kicks, etc., you thought that was going to give you a better chance to get the shoes you favorited and the shoes you liked. What we found out was very quickly is that the sneakers app and Nike, the people that they favor are people who haven't won yet or new accounts, because they figure they've already given you some W's, right? And they know you going to keep coming back because you're addicted. You're going to keep coming back. But they're trying to get new people addicted. So they throwing yellow tops out in the street and people like, oh, I got one. I hit. Oh, man, this sneakers app is amazing. And then they don't hit for, like
For
6 months. Like, but that one time I hit, though, it felt so good. I can't stop trying.
It's like what they said, like, when people used to get high on crack, you're still searching for that first high.
That first high. And that's what everybody on sneakers is searching for right now. And Nike knows that. So, like, I'm telling you, like, I'm telling you right now, if you trying to get like these Georgetown ones coming out this weekend, Jackie, you might want to create a new account, because I think that's who's going to end up winning the most on sneakers for that shoe this weekend, because it's a hype release and it's not releasing in any of the foot sites, which they're doing that on purpose. They're only giving it to tier 0 joints on purpose to build the hype behind it. They didn't do that when they released it in the UK, who've had it for a month. Like, Nike knows what they're doing, and it's kind of trash what they're doing right now.
Real quick, just comment from the chat room is like, what happened to the good old days of walking into the mall and maybe having to go 2-3 shoe stores and waiting patiently for them to bring your size out? Like, and I talked about this when I was on the phone with you, B. Like, yo, I'm from Chicago. I'm used to being able to walk into the mall, especially when it comes to Jordans. I'm used to being able to walk into the mall, and they got like the Jordan 6s is out. All right, let me get them in the size 9. Let me get these in the size 10 or whatever the fuck. Like the bread 11s that came out. Let me go to, if you go to like Ford City Mall or go to Evergreen Plaza, which isn't there anymore, or go to River Oaks Mall or any of the malls, and be able to walk in there and like just, okay, they got your size, and you walk out with them. And now I got some dude that probably wasn't alive when Jordan was playing telling me like, yo, these Jordans go for $625. And I'm providing you with the opportunity to like walk out of the store with them right now. Like, nigga, you provided me with an opportunity to get scammed, nigga. Like, that's what the fuck you do. You giving me an opportunity to get scammed right now. And like, I was in that store low key heated that he had the audacity to come to me like, you had like, I'm wrong for like pulling up to like, yo, StockX. Like StockX is some bullshit. Like, hold on, man. Like, everybody is like selling shit on StockX. Like, yeah, you might get some fakes or something. I haven't got any fakes from StockX that I know of. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But who's to say that if I walk out of your store that I'm also not walking out with a pair of fakes? Because I don't have any sort of authentication sort of shit going on with me when I'm walking out of the store. I just know that I walked out of the store, with some shoes. So it's just kind of crazy, man. It's the shoe game. I walked out of there feeling as though, like, and I said this to Brandon. I said, I feel like I'm starting to hate these sneaker motherfuckers, man. I'm starting to hate these motherfuckers, man.
But it sucks because the originally, and I'm not gonna say that $1 billion StockX didn't know what they were doing, but originally, to my understanding, and Jackie, you can correct me on this because you've been in the game way longer than I have, right? But StockX was something that initially was a service that provided the ability for you to get shoes that were regional, and they were not released everywhere. So it was like, hold up, I can get those shoes that dropped in Japan. I can get those shoes that dropped in Europe. You would never get them here because they never release here. So it was like, yes, you could resell, and it made reselling easier. But part of the resale game was you was getting resold shit from regions you couldn't get to. So that allowed you to grow, your collection in a way that you couldn't before by hitting up every boutique shop on in Harlem or wherever the fuck you stay at.
Or traveling.
Yeah, exactly. Because niggas was making trips to LA. Niggas was getting on planes to go stand in line at shoe stores in fucking LA to get exclusives. Wow. So I get
People
it.
were going to. I remember. I had a couple of friends go to China to get the Carl's joint, the Carl's Ford.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Damn, they went to China for that.
Yes.
Sneakerheads don't play, bro. Like, again, that term, but like sneakerheads do not play when it's like, I can only get this from here. And StockX was providing a very amazing service, like just a technological advancement in the culture that would allow people to get shoes they couldn't get before. And then niggas took advantage of it. Niggas just was like, I'm about the whole store. So now these shoes don't exist at all. And I'm going to keep them in my garage. And I'm going to put them on StockX. And I'm going to make up a price. Because don't think that they got some fucking appraiser working at StockX that the first pair of a shoe that go up, they looking at it and going, well, we've gone through the leather and we pulled apart the extension and we've unglued the sole and we've appraised this to be a $700 shoe. Nigga, Nike know that shoe is not worth more than probably a third of the retail you would have paid for it. And somebody just decides, I think this shoe is worth $700. So now everybody falls in line behind them because some dumbass buys it.
Yeah.
The first person that buys it messes it up for everyone else.
It's like a in-hand NFT. Because you can price it any way you want it to. Like if there's a demand, if like like how many units of that shoe is coming out. Like if it's 20,000, and then you compare that to like how many people in the world that want that shoe, you could just throw a number out there. Cause like the just for example, the reverse bred Jordan ones, it was like they were numbered. It was only 20,000. They were putting ridiculous prices on them shoes. Cause I think that shoe right now is probably $700, $800 now. And that's on the low end.
That's crazy. I think the last shoe I bought from StockX was the original Nike Adapt BBs when those dropped.
Oh yeah, was it the first or
the very first one?
Okay,
the very first one, because I tried to get them on sneakers, and them bitches.
Oh, I remember that.
Them bitches sold out like that, and I was like, I really want that shoe though. Like I went to StockX because I really wanted that shoe, and so I probably only paid like maybe $50 above retail for that shoe. Then it wasn't like y'all like, all right, I could do the extra 50, cool. That was the last shoe I got off StockX. Now you were saying something to me, Brandon, about like the way in which like sneaker culture now, where like you were trying to move some shoes, and somebody told you that your shoes must be fake because you were selling too close to retail.
Nigga.
Tell us about that.
Okay. So the sneaker culture is so dumbass backwards in some instances that I had a pair of playoff 12s, size 10, that I got from Finish Line. I had a pair on Finish Line. I had a pair at Foot Locker. I had two pair of Foot Locker. I had a pair at Finish Line. And then somebody hit for my size for me, right? So because I couldn't even hit for my own fucking size. Somebody hit for me, I hit a bunch of 10s. Cool. So I moved the first pairs and I ooped some and I moved them because I really don't be trying to resell. So then I went on Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, let me just put this 12 up here because it literally just released. Put the 12 on Marketplace, right? And I've sold a couple of joints on Marketplace. Made some connects on Marketplace. Like now they'll hit me up. Yo, I got this. You looking for this? I got some. You got these? I'm looking for them. Hey, cool. That's how I move. All right. So I put the 12s on stock on Facebook, right? I've never seen such a gaggle of niggas act a fucking mess when it came down to time to pay up for these fucking shoes, dog. I had one nigga talking 180. Get the fuck out my fucking page, bro. Ain't nobody giving you no 180 for no playoff 12s, nigga. And they selling for $269 on StockX right now. And I'm selling them for $220. Your mama ain't raised you right.
A whole gaggle of niggas. Like
a fucking gaggle, dog.
A whole gaggle.
So a nigga hit me up and he was like astounded. He was like, there was this kid. He was just like, yo, you selling them for $220? I was like, yeah, I got an extra pair. I just need to get rid of them. He was like, yo, that's crazy. They're like $269 right now. Everybody's selling them for $269. Are they real? Yes, nigga, they real. They're real. Oh, man. Can I come pick them up tomorrow? yeah, if they still here, nigga, if somebody don't come pick them up today, you can come get them. Of course, I didn't hear back from this little nigga. Like, I ended up selling them to somebody else, but it was just like that blew my mind. Like, I bet you he thought they were fake because I was selling them so close to retail. Like, I'm in a Discord group where what we do is oop. That's what we do. I'm not trying to resell to nobody in that group. If I get a pair of whatever, I oop them. I got a pair of fucking Sakai waffles for DJ Fusion for Mary. Like, and I gave them to her. Like, she asked me, could I try on sneakers for her size? Got on sneakers, hit the gray joints, was blown. I was like, holy shit, I got the fucking gray Sakai waffles. That's crazy. Had no idea how much they were worth. Went on StockX. Them motherfuckers was worth $570. No idea they were worth that much. Called Mary up. It was like, hey, I got your joints. They're $180. Just let me know when you want to pay for them. I'm not about to resell to my people.
Hey,
like, that's I'm not doing it. Even Jackie and even Jackie, like, I got a pair of Hyper Royals he won't. I told Jackie I'd give him to for $270. That is more than I paid for him, but that's $100 and something less than they going.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Right
oh
now.
yeah.
So check this out.
So
quick story. I don't mean to interrupt you, bro.
No, you good. I was done.
But quick story. We're gonna go back to the PS5, right? So your man Spann was striking out on the PS5s, man, at Target, Best Buy, Amazon, the whole shit, right? And I'm like, this some bullshit, fam. I be trying to hit on, like, I'm at work. I'll be at work trying to get the PS5 and, like, you trying to work, but at the same time, like, hey, Spann, get off the fucking phone, man. We got work to do. You know, that sort of shit, right? And so I told B, but B was like, hey, man, I mean, just, what was that? The privacy or whatever the fuck that was?
You talking about the cards?
The app.
I told.
Like, he talking about privacy.
Privacy card?
Yeah. Set that whole shit up, man.
Yeah.
And then I'll never forget this, bro. Like, he hit me up when I was at work, and he was like, "Yo, Spann, I got the PS5, but I'm at work though." You know what I'm saying? So I'm misinterpreting this whole text. I'm thinking the nigga got the PS5 for himself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, congratulations, my nigga. But in real talk, like, to me, it was more like, congratulations. That's what it was like for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, this nigga got a PS5, man. I've been trying to hit on them bitches forever. You're like, no, nigga, I mean for you. I was like, oh shit. Okay, cool.
I'm looking at this text like, didn't this nigga say he wanted a fucking... Okay, now I gotta find somebody who want a PS5 now.
I'm like, I'm at work, fam. Like, it was like, I read the text wrong. My bad, but he came through. My man came through, and he didn't charge me no more than what the PS5 cost in the shipping.
Shipping and the PS5, that's it.
That was it. So, like, yo, when I am here to, like, I am a witness to the greatness of the PhenomBlak. That's all I'm saying, man.
It's not. I mean, like, for me, it's just like when I get into shit, I get addicted to it. Like, I be trying to find, because I don't like people getting over on me for nothing. So I'm like, I'm gonna find a way to get this shit like cheaper, dog. I'm not giving you $300, bro.
So
how
we
much
got a
can I
question
get? A
in the
size
chat.
7 in the cool grays? I want to say 3. I know the 11. I know a size 11 is like 380, 350.
Keep your antennas open, because they're actually gonna do a restock of the. They doing a restock of the Concord. I saw a post.
Yeah, oh, hold up, are they?
Yeah, it's something like, just keep your eyes open. I just seen a picture of it. Like, the restock coming soon. So,
but yeah, I got a pair of cool grays. So I got cool grays. I got a 10.5. Let me see. I got a 10.5 from my buddy in Germany. I got an 11 from Foot Locker because I hit an 11. I got a 6.5 from my sister from my buddy in Germany also. So it's just kind of like, it's community at the end of the day. The whole sneaker shit, like, I know people miss the days just walking into Foot Locker and being able to buy them.
I do. I swear to God.
But it's all about community too, man, because I wouldn't get most of the stuff I get if I wasn't connecting with people and being like, hey, if you're not going for these, can you use your sneakers account for me to get them? And, you know, if you don't, cool. If you do, cool. And I do the same for people. If people ask me, yo, I'm looking for this, Like, Jackie said he wanted the fucking bread ones. I was like, bro, if I get a pair, if I get an extra pair, you know what's up. And I hit 2 pair. I don't know how,
but you know what, man, and I think I talked with you about this before. Like, like when I said I feel like I was aging out of the whole like sneaker shit. You know what I'm saying? Because of all of the things that you got to go through just in order to like just to buy a pair of shoes, and I be feeling like I ain't about to do all that shit, fam. Like I'm just not. Like if I get them, I do. If I don't, then fuck it, man. Like I'm not about to do all of that shit.
I feel like you do that for phones, though, bro. Like the way you
I don't.
do phones, I ain't.
But I don't.
That at all, dog.
But I don't though. So I get my.
I don't know, bro. The research you doing on phones, Spann, is
no.
crazy,
I do
man.
research on phones because I like phones. But when it comes to actually buying a phone, I pre-order my shit, and guess what? The motherfuckers come. Like I ain't gotta like set up a whole bot or nothing like that to get a damn phone. Like if I wanted the Z Fold 3, I could get the Z Fold 3. If I wanted the Pixel 6 Pro, I can get the Pixel 6 Pro. Like I've never had to like do anything extra other than what I would normally do to buy a phone. Like, and y'all know phones is my shit. But like I change out phones, I might get a phone every 6 months. You know
we know.
Yeah.
I might get a phone every 6 months. But like I'm saying though, like I usually just go straight to the manufacturer. I go to Samsung, I go to Google. When LG was making phones, I would get the motherfucker straight from LG. But like I wasn't doing the whole like, hey man, I gotta set up a bot, I gotta get with my people in order to get this shoe. I ain't gotta do all that, man. It's like, hey man, I want this phone at this spec, and y'all got it. All right, cool. Send it to me, and I used to get them.
But what you're saying, right? Like I hear you when it's like, I ain't got to do all of this. But one, you are doing more than the average bear, my nigga. Like let's be frank.
I'm doing more than like only because I like what I like.
Right, and when it comes to the sneaker junk, you say like setting up bots.
No.
In the beginning, that can be difficult, but once you have it set up, all you do is hit a button, and then the shit's come to your crib. Like you ain't doing no work after that. Like that's easy. That's way easier than going to the store.
I don't go to the store either.
But here's the thing. Here's how it aligns with you, Spann. You know, I'm speaking hypothetically. You learn everything. You learn everything about the phone that you're interested in. Mm-hmm. That's the same thing about the bot. Like you figure out what you want to, how you want to work it and make it work for you. So you learn everything about that phone. That's the same thing about getting sneakers. You learn what avenue you need to go down to get the shoe that you want.
I think the only disconnect that I have with the bot and like me purchasing a phone is that when I go to Samsung's website and say I want this phone in this color at this spec, check out. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm doing. I want this phone, this color, this spec. Check out. Mm-hmm. That's it. I don't have to go through a third party. I don't have to pre-program or something to like, battle against everybody else. I don't have to do any of that. Mm-hmm. I get what y'all saying. Like once you got it set up, it's straight. Like you can just go ahead, like, all right, I want this, and it come up. I'm saying I don't even have to go through that setup. I'm saying I go to the website, boom, boom, boom. That's it.
I mean, I hear you, but Spann, it's.
But here's the thing.
Set up, they're doing less work than you. It's niggas that hit multiple pairs of shoes while they at work, Spann. They don't even have to get on. They don't get on the computer. They not doing nothing.
That's why I said I feel like I'm an old nigga, man.
Right? They're not doing anything. Like they get alerts on their phone. Oh, just got a pair. Oh, just got a pair.
That's why I said I feel like I'm an old nigga. I'll be like, man, this some bullshit.
I mean, in comparison to these, because these are kids doing this. That's the other thing. These are absolutely
I'm battling against kids. It's like playing Call of Duty with the kids who calling me like, I just fucked your mom. Like after he kills me and shit,
Wow.
But,
but it's kids doing this, but then it's the old school niggas that's doing it the way they was doing it before. Like, if you're not trying to invest in a bot, which depending on what you're trying to get, that's a hefty investment. Like I'm talking about people putting down like $5,000 when they know they trying to get like 100 pairs. That they gonna then flip or sell or whatever, but they making a gang of money doing that anyway. But I don't want to even get into that.
Like the motherfucker had impossible kicks.
I mean, I don't think your man's is doing that there. I'm just from the way he's sounding, dog. I think he's getting them from people off the streets because they gotta move him. But
he was just annoying. I hated that.
Oh yeah,
guts.
I mean a lot of heads. We got a head out here that's like that.
But
I'm not going to his stuff and shit.
And then I want to add, from the shoe selection you say he's not in the game like that anyway.
Hold on.
No, they are, Jackie. I went to their page.
He got some shit. He got some shit in there. I'm just saying the shoes that I was selecting for myself, like what I would know, what I would buy, the first things that I've looked at, and then my wife saw some things, but he had some shit in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had like Yeezys and all sorts of shit in there, but I was just like the shoes that I would typically wear. When I looked at those shoes, I'm like, yeah, I would buy those shoes, but not at this fucking price. Hell no. Like I'm not about to do that. Like, come on.
I mean, again, for me, it's the shoe. It depends on the shoe. It depends on how much you want it, and if you got it, and if you can kind of curb the price a bit by doing something else. I wanted the I'm on my year 3s. I wanted them. Like it was. I tried multiple times to get them retail, couldn't do it, just could not get them. So finally, I just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna just pay out of pocket. I went to GOAT because they got so many fakes of those shoes, and the fakes look so fucking good. I was like, I can't trust StockX with these, so I went to GOAT. I think I paid like $450. I'm like, hey, worth it. Like, get them in hand. To me, they're beautiful. They're comfortable. They're just an amazing sneaker. I got them in June. Fast forward to fucking now, I paid $450. Them shoes is worth $1,100. I knew what I was doing at the time. I was like, let me get these now before everybody and their mama start talking about how this is the shoe of the year. And sure enough, when it hit November, every fucking sneaker outlet, every media source was claiming the I'm on my year 3s were sneaker of the year, and the price just boom. It just went up. Man.
Hype beast.
I got a feeling these concept Air Max 1s are gonna be like that this year.
Nigga. Yeah, I think people slept on these. Like I think, and I don't think they slept on didn't get them because they sold out. But I honestly think people slept hard on the mellows and on the heavies. I know everybody went after them.
My God.
I know everybody went after them hippie joints. But
was it the far out?
The far outs. But I think they really slept on the mellows just because they got the velvet tongue. Yeah, I swear these niggas slept on them, bro, because I was rocking them last weekend for Air Max Day, and they're just a beautiful shoe, nigga. They're just a beautiful shoe.
This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
Brandon, I think I was talking to Brandon like 3 weeks in a row trying to get that shoe. I said I paid resale for it. I paid $239 for them. Ship. So I already knew what time. I think they're gonna go up.
They already at $3 someplace. I seen a dude trying to move them for $300. I was like, you were wilding. But I understand because the more people see them in public, that's another thing that'll happen to a shoe. The more people see it out on the street, actually on people's feet, and some shoes people don't wear. Like I can guarantee most of y'all have probably never seen a Travis Scott sneaker on somebody's feet. Like you won't see niggas walking around with them. I've seen 1 or 2 people rocking Scotts. Like, and I'm in the DC area, and I saw one dude at Atmos wearing them, and this nigga was in incognito. He was in disguise and shit. Like he didn't want nobody to recognize him.
Not a disguise, bro.
I swear to God, he was. He was in a ninja suit before we had COVID.
No pictures, please. No pictures, please.
It was just, it's funny. Like there's so many dope shoes that you don't see out on people's feet, and it's because people bought them. And I'm curious to see how many of these unions we gonna see after what happened today.
Oh yeah.
I doubt I'll ever see the Argons or them Laker looking them purple joints on people's feet.
Purple and yellow, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. It's the whole shoe thing, man. Like I said, I talked to Brandon when I left out of that store because I'm like, yo, am I tripping? Because I low key I was getting ready to go off on the last episode. I swear to God, he like, yo, man, don't talk about this now. Wait.
Cause you was gonna sound old, my nigga.
I was gonna sound old. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was like,
but you're not wrong for being mad because it is stupid. Like it is dumb, but also that's just how the game is. It goes both ways. I was telling Jackie, if you want to get these ones this week, man, you better book you a time. I'm on my ear to go stand in line at social status this weekend because they're going to have pairs. Now, are they gonna backdoor them to people? Are they gonna be funny with them? I can't tell you that part, but the line at Wish this weekend is gonna be disgusting. And I've never even been to Wish in Atlanta, but I've seen pictures of what it looked like, and it's gonna be disgusting. Like they're gonna be outside waiting for extra pairs, knowing they barely got any.
Dog, I remember standing in line at Wish for my LA to Chicago Jordan 1.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we was out there I was in line like 2 or 3 hours. I wanted them shoes bad,
bro. They had one.
Hot.
They had one release where they told people. I think Wish told people they couldn't line up at Wish, so they lined up across the street. Like it was dumb, dude. It was dumb.
Yeah, and they do have the cops with that thing on them.
Oh, of course they do.
I would assume so.
Yes,
I would assume so, man.
You know how many times I've been scared to walk back to my car with a pair of shoes, thinking I'm about to, because of where I had to go to pick them up from. Like I ran out of the house at 7 a.m. in the dark to go get them Joe Fresh joints last year. And when I saw that they were in DC, I just knew he was gonna be in the fucking hood in DC. I was like, man, I'm gonna be out fucking Anacostia, some shit standing in line, copying this shit from a pop-up booth. Luckily, it was in Navy Yard. So once I got out Navy Yards, I was like, oh, we about to park and shit. Oh, it's white people jogging. We good. I'm safe.
Not the white people jogging.
Hey, listen.
Not the white people jogging
is safe.
I hear that, man. But yo, man, sneakers. It's a hell of a lot more to the shit now than it was when I was coming up, man. I'm gonna just say that. Like I'm used to being able to go in there and cop and walk right the fuck back out. But apparently is a little bit more involved than what it was when we was coming up, man. Real talk. Now, we're gonna shift gears a little bit here. Like all the way. Like we're gonna shift gears all the fucking way. Cause what we talking about right now ain't got shit to do with sneakers. It got everybody and their goddamn mama, whoever had an opinion on anything, talking about this shit. So Will Smith smacked fire out of Chris Rock's face, man.
I'll be a monkey's bare-assed uncle.
Yeah, man. He smacked fire from that man's face. And it has the timeline in the tizzy, whether it be your Twitter timeline, whether it be your Facebook timeline, whether it be your... Are they still doing the Clubhouse? Now, I said this on the Facebook. I said this on the Facebook. I said this on the Facebook, right? And Brandon came through. He was like, "Yeah, nigga, we still on the Clubhouse." Hold
up, nigga. I didn't say the we. I did not say we. I said them niggas is still on.
Oh, Clubhouse. I didn't know if you. I didn't. My bad. Nah. I didn't know.
I
if
go
you were
into
included
one room
in the
and
week.
one room only on Clubhouse, and Jackie knows exactly what room that is, and that's to kick it with my people. That ain't. I don't go into none of them other rooms.
It feels as though like Clubhouse has kind of came and went, and like all these other platforms and like kind of like stole their swag kind of, and like just Twitter Spaces is a thing. Like I see Twitter Spaces for motherfuckers I don't even follow. I'm like,
but it's Clubhouse people. That's that. Yeah. Don't get it twisted. That's Clubhouse people.
They Clubhouse people, but they on Twitter
and went to Twitter Spaces. Yes, sir. Okay. They on both now.
Yeah. I made the mistake of actually like listening in on the Twitter Space while I was at work, and they was talking about, and I was like, this is a bunch of young motherfuckers that don't know what the fuck they talking about.
When you can just click a button and a microphone turns on and you can start talking to people, that's when the idiots they come out.
Oh man, it was a whole bunch of interpersonal beefs being being hashed out, and I was like, man, what am I listening to? So I had to tap out of that shit, man. Real talk. But yo, man, Will Smith smacked the fuck out of Chris Rock at the Oscars for talking about his wife or having a joke about his wife. They essentially just saying, G.I. Jane, she's bald head, she's suffering from alopecia. Will Smith got up there and smacked the fuck out of him. Told that man to keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth,
motherfucker.
Like, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. Like
no motherfucking. He said motherfucking mouth.
He said motherfucking first, but the second time he said fucking. Like he put a real the emphasis on the fuck. Like
they came
like that.
He popped
the diaphragm.
I don't know about y'all, but I feel like we should get a special episode of the Boondocks specifically.
I mean, it's coming back.
I heard
No,
they
they
can't
can't.
anymore.
They
It's
canceled it.
yeah,
It
it's
has
not
to be
coming.
addressed. It
It's
has
not
to be
coming back.
addressed. Yeah, and you know what? And I think, and I'm going to say this: Keke Palmer can do Huey and Riley while Regina King is recovering. We need to find somebody to do Grandpa, because no, on TikTok, Keke Palmer was like, "Well, now the first time I seen somebody get slapped for telling a bad joke, and when she did it to the Moesha journal music,
Nigga.
Wow.
so it was just like my thing is, it was a nigga moment. Period.
It was definitely a nigga moment.
It was
I
a
thought a chair was gonna come out.
ass nigga moment. And the beauty of it all was that it was done by one of the most respectable niggas in the history of niggerdom.
Yeah.
It was a whole Will Smith had a nigga moment.
I mean,
Yeah.
Will Smith had an old black nigga moment. Like, he's an old man. Like, let's not get this twisted.
Yeah.
He's not young.
He in
Will
his
Smith
50s.
is an
He's
old
that man's a 50. That's a
man now.
grown ass man.
Yeah. I know
Mhm.
50s is the new 30s or whatever y'all telling yourselves, but that man, he's old. His joints is, they ain't what they used to be. He got grown ass kids. Okay. Been
Mhm.
married for a long time, been in the game for 30 some years. Like, Will Smith is old. And the older you get, stronger your fucking gene gets. When you old and you black, that's exponentially stronger the way your fucking gene goes.
Old man
And
stuff.
old black people will check the shit out you because they've been here long enough to know when your ass need to be checked. And the fact that he had to check somebody his age might be the saddest thing about this. It wasn't like he went up there and smacked August Alsina or whatever that boy name is. He had to smack another old nigga. Like, and that's because this old nigga was cooning for some white people. Plain and simple.
Period.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, but he
And-
said.
Hush, boy. No, you know what? So you guys, everyone, imagine. Let's do an exercise. Imagine. Chris
Tanya's in
Rock.
the chat room. She said the slap itself was weak.
Oh no,
Nah,
what? That technique was
Tanya,
proper.
no, don't do this, Tanya.
Hey,
Tanya, don't do this.
Will Smith's technique was amazing on that slap. That was a James Bond nigga slap.
that,
Like,
that was an ace.
Tanya, we not. Come on, Tanya.
'Cause-
Tanya.
it's power in the technique, right? You ain't got to do all the antics and shit. My man in a tight suit didn't pop a button,
Just pop.
executed the one hand bring down, full extension, and then turned
Follow
around,
through.
adjusted the bottom part of his coat, and kept
So
it
Come on.
Tanya, did you want Chris Rock to fly back and spittle to go like how did you like when he's like did you want to punch it? Like I mean you wanted to or did you want him or did he smack him
'Cause
just enough
She
to
said
say,
the elbow was bent wrong.
keep my
'Cause
wife's
I-
name
'cause-
out your fucking mouth.
I want somebody to show me like where somebody got slapped and got knocked. Because when I see a slap, I usually see the slap happen like that. I don't see no tumble or no stagger. Like just somebody just
because it's a
falling
slap,
over.
Jackie.
No,
Yeah,
have
I
y'all
know.
seen y'all know the slap fights? The slap like
Yeah, I've seen the
they be
slap
slapping,
fights.
and they be knocking each other out or something. I don't know how you knock somebody out with a slap.
The slap
I
fights, they literally be standing. They have to get slapped like 50 times before they finally just fall
Well,
for the
somebody
corner.
fall-
Though, like most of the time, it's just a okay, all right, and then they
Oh,
wind their arm
man.
back and they do. Will Smith didn't have
They
to
be
do none
doing
of that.
all this shit.
He didn't have to do none of that.
ah.
He wound himself up walking up on
They do
stage.
with the powder,
They be like,
Yeah.
the Broad J powder talk. No, but no, seriously. Okay, I do want to do this exercise. Imagine that Chris Rock is Future and Will Smith is Russell Wilson.
Mm.
Imagine. Imagine. No, because here's the deal. And I say that to say, and I want y'all to tell me if y'all notice this. But a lot of these niggas out here been talking a lot of shit about not only black women, but a lot of real men. Like,
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
talk about, oh, you a bitch. Because you raise your goddamn kids.
yeah.
being responsible shit.
And let's keep it real funky. Chris Rock is confused that he got smacked because for years he made his wife a punchline and the butt of his jokes, and when he had a wife. So yeah, he's confused that a nigga will be like, motherfucker, don't talk about that. She's
not just his wife, Cook. Good hair is a tongue-in-cheek joke on black women. Like, I don't know why niggas didn't get that. I thought, and I enjoyed the documentary because of the people he interviewed. They made it interesting. They were knowledgeable. They explained things about hair culture I didn't understand. But every time he asked a question, well, why y'all be wearing all that stuff in your head? Like it was pretty much that the whole documentary from him. It wasn't respectful.
So when he dropped that documentary, Oprah had a show about it with an audience full of black women. And it was one black woman. All the other women were celebrating it and they loved it. Like, I'm so glad. And there was one black woman who stood up and she was like, I work in corporate America. When you do things like this, it opens me up to additional scrutiny because when they watch it, they don't take it serious.
Nope.
You're joking. Now they're going to come to me and they're like, well, Chris Rock said, is it true, you guys? And so she was like, can you please, just when you talk about these things, walk it back or tone it down. And this is not the first time that Chris Rock has. No. What she was saying was, you know how white people in the office like, oh, I heard a joke that Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle or Arsenio Hall, I heard a joke they said, and you said you guys get really hot in the sun. Is it true? Yeah. That's how white people in the office talk to you and shit.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so sometimes we black people are like, listen, watch what you say publicly because to you best friends, BFF with Adam Sandler, you think it's okay for Louis C.K. to say nigger in your face. Jerry Seinfeld is your best friend. That's your life.
That was the weird part about that whole nigger, the whole nigger thing.
That was like, the hard R nigga.
Like nigger. Like Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld was one motherfucker in that whole like conversation. Like, I don't know if we should be even here doing this.
Yeah, I went
Jerry Seinfeld was the only one like they not gonna cancel me.
Seinfeld like, nah, I don't know if I should really be in here doing this. And I don't like you cool with this for real? Like that's your thing? Like that's the hill you willing to die on. Okay. I haven't slapped a motherfucker in a good long time. Okay, so I mean I got good form. But I ain't here to slap a motherfucker in a good long time, okay?
I have punched someone in the face within the last 12 months.
That's a punch, though. That is a slap. Come on, punching people, Cook.
And did they stagger?
Yeah.
Did you not just spit out their mouth?
No, but they did fall forward to grab their ow. So my thing is this: I'm here. I cook. I'm here to tell you sometimes you gotta smack a bitch.
And the criminal activities of the guests of the Spann Report podcast are those of the people who are perpetuating.
These are the views of Cook. Simmons of highly inappropriate, all the viewers are not exempt.
No, but real talk, man. I just thought like one of the things that I thought was very interesting about like the reaction to like the Will Smith smacking Chris Rock thing was like some of like the dudes, man. The dudes.
I mean,
like the reaction of a lot.
Fabulous get dragged.
No. I'm not even talking about Fabulous. Bro. Fuck him. I'm talking about regular ass niggas that I know.
I'm not listening to Fabulous, so he make a listenable.
We y'all niggas down bad in the street.
I'm talking about regular ass niggas that I know, right? So I'm at work. I'm at work, and one of the guys I work with is like, "Yo, man, if a Will Smith movie come on TV, I'm changing the motherfucking channel."
No!
Fuck Will Smith. That was out of pocket. He ain't had to smack that man like that. Now, mind you, it wouldn't like if this was like an isolated incident and we were just holding it to this incident. All right, cool. But when it's coming from a nigga who I've heard come out of his mouth to say that if R. Kelly got released from jail today, he would be at a fucking R. Kelly concert.
Just about to ask how I'm like saying shit like that still.
I'm like, so like make this make sense for me, fam. You would go to a concert of a dude who has been credibly accused of sexual assault and child molestation, and that would be okay with you. Mm-hmm. But the fact that Will Smith smacked this man for talking shit about his wife is a bridge too far for you.
Yep.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You can't separate
right?
that. You can't separate the actor from the slap.
Hey man, separate that man from his slap like y'all do with that music when it come to R. Kelly. But the other part about it is this though, right? So he was talking about, we people talk about respect and disrespect and everything else, right? He was like, I don't think what Chris Rock said was disrespectful.
Okay, he did.
It's not disrespectful to you. To you. It wasn't your wife he was talking about. And if any of us said anything greasy about your wife, trust and believe you will want to get at one of us too.
So,
and it's just weird, like the disconnect that a lot of dudes have. And I'm wrapping this up in this thing here, and like in much the same way that a lot of guys like would absolve R. Kelly of a lot of the bullshit that R. Kelly has been credibly accused of, and
have absolved R. Kelly.
Have absolved of, like they've absolved this nigga of all the shit that we know he's been known to do. But then like are quick to bring up August Alsina and the fact that like, there was a relationship between Jada Pinkett and August Alsina, and they're like, yo, why don't he have the same level of animosity towards an August Alsina that he has towards a Chris Rock?
You see, August Alsina ain't said shit since it happened because clearly they.
But not only that,
it's not just that, right? Because her relationship with August Alsina, I'm assuming, was a respectful one, and August Alsina wasn't the one who brought up that stuff. She was the one talking about that stuff, so she had control over that regard. Like
it's the entanglement
was
of
it
the
him
false
that bought it up, or
equivalencies.
was it her that bought it?
Here's the deal. So
it's the entanglement of the false equivalencies, man.
Here's the deal. Will and Jada, for better or for worse, have been telling us and letting it be known they have an open marriage.
Oh, hell yeah, for years.
They practice ethical non-monogamy. When all this happened, August is the one who
he came out. Yeah.
I was with her, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, August met with Will to discuss entering into
That's why I thought it was cool with it, because I know that they had talked about that.
He did all that. Right. They walked him through the process, and just like, and we talk about emotional women who try to trap men. Let's talk about these men who say, "Oh, I can handle it. I can handle it. I can handle the pussy. I can handle it." And the minute you take it away, oh, we just said it. And now he got to tell everybody their business.
Okay,
that's why he was looking like that on the Red Table Talk. It's not the fact that she fucked around. Because when she was fucking August Alsina, do you know where Will Smith was?
Oh no, but that's the thing. I'm not saying that she was fucking around.
Somebody else, Cooch.
I'm not even saying that she was fucking around, because I know they've been doing that open relationship thing. And there's been other talkings beyond just them being open relationship, right? Like Will do what Will want to do, and that's his privacy, right? I've heard rumors about that too, and that's not very surprising. Like that's fine. You like your sexuality is sexuality. The spectrum is fluid or whatever, right? That's fine. But my thing was, what happened with Chris didn't have nothing to do with their bedroom
at all.
What Chris said was about her head, which she suffers from alopecia, and she's discussed how that makes her feel and how a bunch of women feel. I have a person in my family who has issues with that. Like
I think them niggas really got beef.
I mean, they might actually have beef.
And low key, here's where I like. One of the things about like celebrity shit, right? Because we talk about the shit on social media all the time, but like we don't really know these niggas.
Not at all.
We don't know these niggas. And so like we don't know if Will has had a conversation with Chris Rock since the 2016 Oscars where he was talking about Jada wasn't invited, just like me being invited to Rihanna's panties and shit like that. Like, hey man, keep my wife's name out your mouth. We don't know if he's had that conversation with Chris Rock because we don't know these niggas and we don't talk to these motherfuckers on a regular basis, right? And yet this nigga comes out, he makes the joke about G.I. Jane 2 or whatever the fuck, and at not only that, like when we think about the Smiths, we talk about like their kids. You know, like people have called child protective services for their kids and shit. People talk about Willow's hair. People talk about whether or not Jaden Smith is possibly like gay or whatever else. And like,
what does that matter?
No, it doesn't.
The things people say,
but
right?
The point,
like, what does that even matter?
But the point that I'm making is like all of this shit is coming at this family. Mm-hmm. All of this shit coming at this family. And you get like the same people who are saying Will should conduct himself in a much better way, man. Like he's not a rookie to this whole fame thing, you know. He's been famous for 30 years, you know. Like he should be able to have tougher skin than this, and it's like, hey man, and most of it is coming from people who have never dealt with that level of scrutiny, and so
most people have never been touched. They've never been in a fight.
Yeah, getting to that. Because I think at a certain point, whether it be podcasts, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Twitter or whatever else, you got a whole bunch of people who are out here used to talking shit about a whole bunch of folks, and ain't nobody ever came to see them about whatever it is that they say.
It's two types of people that talk shit, dog. People who talk shit and back it up, and people who talk shit because they ain't never been touched. Yeah. Like, that's it. And you'll figure out which one they is when somebody go to touch their ass.
There's a lot of people online who've been talking greasy about a whole bunch of people. Ain't nobody ever came to see them. And so now the idea that somebody like, yo, you've been talking this shit and I'm here right now. I can reach out and touch you, and I will. And I did it. Like, got a lot of people like, oh my God, this is beyond the pale. It's just jokes. You should be able to take jokes. Like, hey man, and we've had this conversation about like comedians and stuff like this for the better part of the past few years, because everybody likes to talk about, you know, cancel culture and shit like that. And I've had conversation with comedian friends of mine. I'm like, hey man, yeah, it's jokes, right? But everybody has a line. You may cross a line with somebody and they're not just gonna take your fucking joke, man. That's just what it is. And it could be, you think it's funny, but if the audience doesn't find it funny, it ain't funny.
But it's also not intelligent the way he did.
All I'm saying is I'm ready for the whole cast of Pose to run down on Dave Chappelle on some talk all that shit now, bitch.
You know he can't handle that.
Here's the deal. A lot of these comedians are trying to be a protected class. Like, oh, it's the joke, da-da-da-da. And the thing is, people aren't saying you can't be funny and we don't want to joke. But really, truthfully, after where we've been for the last 5 years as a society, guess what? We're all fed up. Everybody's at their point, and we want to laugh. We don't want to laugh at our own expenses. And we don't want to do that anymore. And some of these comedians are not catching up. In addition to, this is where I get into my conspiracy theory. My concern is that Black men are used by white men, by and large, white media, to say some of the most heinous things about other people because white people can't say it. And a lot of white men like to hide behind that. When you think about hip hop, what the fuck was it about World's Biggest Dick that Jimmy Iovine heard that he just had to invest in it so bad, that resonated with him so much, because now you look at rap, and you look at rap culture, and now everyone's desensitized to the degradation of Black women and children and other Black people in a certain manner. When Dave Chappelle makes these jokes about trans people, he's really giving credence and a way for the Joe Rogans to come in. Well, Dave said blah blah. Why can't I? Blah blah. And it's like, my nigga, you not really catching on. Don't let them use you to start degrading people, because you the same niggas that don't want to be called nigga. You want to be respected. You want to be treated a certain way. But when someone who is not a Black man says they want to be treated the way you want to be treated, all of a sudden you don't comprehend anymore.
But that's not completely true. Okay, so like, these guys are to an extent they are being used, but at the same time, they want to be white men. So the being used is a part of their assimilation into achieving this privilege, this level of privilege that they think they can attain by fame or wealth or whatever. But the ceiling will always be that you a nigga. That will always be the ceiling.
Yeah.
And
that's why Chris Rock had to be smacked in the mouth, because that was his nigga moment. To remind him that he's a nigga. Because Chris Rock has said it out his mouth. He doesn't have any Black male friends. All his friends are white men.
Yeah, I mean, but that's because that's where he did. And I need people to really look at Chris Rock, the person, like not the comedian that's a millionaire, that's successful. Look at him, right? Look at the skinny, funny looking Black guy who became a comedian because he wasn't gonna be no fucking male model and he didn't have the confidence to do a bunch of other shit, but he funny, right? And he did a whole show that was self-deprecating. Like, for you to do a whole show about how people hate you, and I love that show. I love Everybody Hates Chris. I think it is a genius show. But at the same time, this is a show about a kid who's not respected by anyone. Like his parents, his siblings, the streets, even like everybody at school except the one other loser kid that he's a friend with. He's not respected by anyone. And this is a show that's supposed to be based off his real life, right? Or certain aspects of his real life. Chris Rock felt that way about himself. So when you get to a point now where you are in kind of engulfed in your own self-deprecation, right? You make jokes about other people's shit to tear them down at the same time. And you might not see anything wrong with it until you get smacked in the fucking face because you said it about the wrong person.
Two things can be true at the same time. I do believe that about some black men, that yes, the assimilation is for them to get privilege and things like that in the proximity. But my thing is, if you pay attention, like look at how, so they said Chris Rock was on stage and he kind of teared up a little bit. And I was like, I know he's not pulling the white woman tears.
I mean, why wouldn't he?
Because because this is why I feel the way that I do. It's apples to apples. Will Smith's a millionaire, Chris Rock is a millionaire. Will Smith got money, Chris Rock got money. Will Smith 50, Chris Rock 50. It's mano a mano at this point. If Chris Rock really feels some type of way, the only thing I'm going to accept is him calling Will Smith and agreeing to go to the compound. If he's really scared, he can take Tony with him and he can sit down and talk with Tony gonna do? We don't need
Tony mad
because apparently like the Rocks are like some goons that we never knew about.
If you don't get to listen, they're not the Murphys.
No,
Let's
I'm
not
just saying
confused.
they keep going to
not the Murphys.
I'm saying like media.
I mean, but listen, Chris, they niggas from Brooklyn. Niggas from Brooklyn.
Media keeps going to his brothers as to whether or not the apology that Will Smith gave was being accepted. Tony Rock came out and said, "No, I don't accept this man's apology." Like, you weren't the one that got slapped, but okay, whatever the fuck. Like, why the fuck we even talking to you?
But fuck that. That's my brother. You smack my brother, yeah.
Who the fuck is checking for Tony Rock? That's all I'm saying. It's
on site. Is it on site? Is it on site, Tony?
Is it on site?
Is it on site, Tony?
Is it on site? That's what I'm saying. It's like there's another brother. I didn't even know Chris Rock had another brother, but it was like another brother who said something similar to like, "Yo, we not accepting Chris Rock's. I'm sorry, Will Smith's apology." Like, I'm just like, yo, apparently the Rocks are some goons and we didn't know it. But even if
who going to these niggas though?
The media,
because who calling for him is the question. Not
the media.
Who's sending for him?
And then Wanda went on Ellen to
get her out of here, dog.
Nope.
Wanda Sykes,
Biggie
Shorty.
She went on Ellen, by the way. She went on Ellen to do this.
Yes, and this is my point. Like, and then you saw Amy Schumer produced the show, I think. Or
she's traumatized. She's gonna take off her career for a month
so that she can plug her show. They done had to drag Meryl Streep.
Hold on.
They done brought Jim Carrey's herpes up.
Tony
Y'all,
said
it just was
a
bloodbath on Twitter.
Tony said it's on
Man, get out of here.
It was a bloodbath. Zoe Kravitz got dragged real bad. I mean, like, it's just been mayhem.
My family aren't goons, but slap my brother and I'm dog walking you.
Period.
You know, I hear you.
But I believe you.
Look, we know how this.
I believe.
I hear you.
Don't believe the Rocks. Okay.
But here's the other part about this.
I'm a rock gonna let them
there's a couple of different aspects too that I kind of want to talk to about this.
Come on,
right?
bro.
There's a couple of different aspects. The first thing is, like, if I hear one more motherfucker say, if that was The Rock instead of Chris Rock on stage, he wouldn't have got up and did this shit.
The Rock wouldn't have said shit.
First things first, man. If you got to create a whole other scenario with whole other different characters
with a whole different level of swole.
With a whole different level of swole.
Come on, bro.
Pardon me if I believe that there's gonna be a whole different level of motherfucking reaction to whatever the fuck the joke was, right? You're not making the point that you think you making, man. Yeah, you created a whole other scenario. Duh, nigga. It would probably been a different thing, right? The other part about it is this, right? So this happened at the Oscars. A whole lot of white folks was watching. And I feel as though if this shit had happened at the BET Awards, a lot of them motherfuckers who are coming out as strong as they are against Will Smith probably wouldn't be had this been like a
Probably they wouldn't have known it happened.
An intra-family sort of squabble, right? Because if I've seen so many different as a black man, or as being a part of the black community, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
What the fuck, bruh?
Came out and said that this was. I'm sorry. Let me go because I got this shit saved. Let me pull this story up because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had something to say about the Chris Rock slap, and I was just like, "Are you serious?"
I'm done with Abdul-Jabbar Jr. I'm done with the Abdul-Jabbars. Okay, we're done.
I think that's the other thing that people need to think about. Like,
okay,
when you say that if it had been The Rock, Will Smith might not have slapped him. I was talking to my dad, and we kind of had that conversation. I was like, first off, you don't know who Will Smith was willing to slap that night, given what he's been through, what he's dealing with, and what joke was said about his wife at the end of the day. Because real talk, if I'm out and a nigga bigger than me, oh man, I'm not tall, but I'm a big nigga. If a nigga bigger than me, it does something to Ash. There won't be me looking at him going, oh man, no. If I get my ass beat, I get my ass beat, but I'm going down fighting. Like and Will Smith walked up there and slapped the person because in that moment he wanted to slap the fuck out of that person. If he had got slapped back, then so be it. Like that, but he wanted to initiate that conversation. We'll say that conversation. He wanted to start it. All right. So we're not gonna say that if it had been this person, that wouldn't have happened. Because I'm not gonna say a lot of us, a few people are okay with the possibility of getting their ass beat for the cause. So
here's the other part about it though, that I think is kind of going unsaid, right? So you've got people I count myself as a person who I don't necessarily say that I would go up and smack Chris Rock. I'm not saying that that's something that I would do. But I'm also not mad at this motherfucker for going up there and smacking Chris Rock.
Two things can be true.
I'm not mad at him. And so, like, people think as though, like, when you say you're not mad at him, that you condone what he did or that that's something that you would go up there and do. It's like, no, I'm not saying that that's something that I would.
Somebody, but
I know we know Cook out here punching motherfuckers out. I'm just saying, no, but the point that I'm making is like, yo, like, I'm not saying that you should go up there and smack a motherfucker at the Oscars or anything else. I'm not saying that. But at the same time, and I've said this on social media, my ministry is not to police how another person defends their spouse.
Thank you.
That's not my ministry. I'm not going to tell you that you are wrong for how you defend your spouse. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, yeah, that might not have been the way that I would have done it, but I ain't mad at you for going about the way that you went about it.
But why the discussion turned into we shouldn't have slapped them in front of white people? Like, why niggas was like they should have went backstage and did it?
Yeah,
so you cool with them getting slapped as long as the white people ain't see it? A
whole bunch of people was just on some like, yo, as black people, man, a black man smacking another black man on an international stage, and that's where it goes into that whole respectability shit that I really couldn't fuck with. Some of my people was talking that shit. Like, one of my cousins was on my Facebook, like, kind of going ham on me. I was like, damn, cuz, like, calm down. But real talk, like no, but the whole thing of like, yo,
that's what I said to Van Lathan. He's like, I'm really conflicted. I was like, did he slap you?
Right, like it happened in front of white folks. I want to jump in. Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead.
I want to say this. Everybody say they're willing to die for somebody. You know, like if you love somebody, they always claim I die and to protect this person, the mom, wife, or something. But when a situation like this, you get all defensive and stuff like that. I don't get that shit, man. I don't get it.
So here's the deal. I think a lot of men, and this is what I'm hearing, I think a lot of men just don't respect their wives. A lot of men are struggling with the fact that he defended his wife. And a lot of men feel that I keep hearing this. She cheated on Will. She emasculated him. And I'm like, you guys are projecting.
They were
They
open
are.
relationship though. It wasn't cheating if they was in an
And
open
they are
relationship.
mad that Will is giving his wife total autonomy over her body and sexuality as an equal partner in their marriage. Because so many men feel, as the breadwinner or just the nigga in general, they should be able to go out, fuck who they want, and the wife got to sit at home and cry on Cheerios.
I'm throwing a flag.
Will is like, nah, baby, if you
Throwing
want to bust
flag.
it wide open like I'm busting it wide open, we could bust it wide open together. And I still respect you, even though I make more money than you, blah, 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 blah. It's a lot of stuff that reads into that, and you know what it is because it's all misogyny.
I'm throwing a flag on the play here,
act
guys.
like we don't know, but it's a lot. That's how a lot of these niggas is coming.
Cook using too many big words. I'm throwing a flag on the plate. Too many big words. It's too many big words. These niggas gonna be mad. They're gonna be every
they
big
gonna
word.
be
They feel like they just got
My
slapped.
masculinity has been hurt.
Sorry.
Quit talking.
First of all,
Dumb
let me
it
address,
down.
Let me address
Sorry.
Greg in here in the chat room though. He said, "What if Chris Rock grabbed the last pair of playoff 12s right in front of you, Spann?" Listen, I'm not attached to the playoff 12s. I didn't give a fuck about them playoff 12s. But if you do try to snatch my wife, you might catch a couple caps in the kneecaps. That's all I'm saying,
This
man.
nigga shooting.
That's all I'm saying.
Spann gonna be like, you brought a hand to a gunfight, my nigga.
That's
like,
all I'm saying, man. You don't want these problems when it come to my spouse. Is all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm really gonna shoot a nigga, but I'm just saying, like, I take the respect of my family very seriously, which is why,
As black men should.
is why I wasn't mad at Chris. I'm sorry, but I wasn't mad at Will Smith for defending his wife, and it was very odd to me to listen to niggas talk about how they would, like Will Smith was like out of okay.
How somebody say something slick about your wife and be out of pocket? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like that's the thing. That's the
You
thing.
be saying
Like,
shit about your wife, nigga.
I think the setting is what really is throwing niggas, right? The setting is what's throwing niggas because it happened on an international scale. It's happening in front of white people, and we know how niggas love how white people look at us because, and this is what my beef was with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, was that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is old enough to know that no matter how respectable you are, they're going to think this shit about you regardless of how you act, period. Like,
And that nigga broke his hand on somebody.
like that's the thing.
He punched somebody and
And
broke his hand.
Tanya, Cardi was never wrong for throwing her shoe at Nicki at the Met Gala. Because fuck that bitch. Keep Culture's name out your mouth. And
I mean,
that's
Nicki
what
was
Cardi
kind
said.
of trash though.
Like, it's
Talking
like,
about people, baby's crazy.
like, we go back to we go back to like examples of, Martin Luther King Jr., like respectable, like one of our best.
Martin Luther King would have smacked a nigga.
They shot that nigga though. Like he was talking about peaceful. He was talking about being peaceful. Like hey, just treat everybody the way you want to be treated. The golden rule. He was the golden rule nigga, man. Martin Luther King was the golden rule nigga, and they shot him. Barack Obama, probably one of our best and brightest. They couldn't stand this nigga, man. They was in the fucking Congress telling this nigga to shut up, like you lying and shit. Like they was doing all kind of reckless shit. They was creating scandals off the type of suits that nigga was wearing. So like this idea that we should really give a fuck about what white people think about shit, I am so past that. Like, man, fuck what white people think about how we do shit amongst ourselves.
It's the hypocrisy that the Academy Awards, who has awarded Harvey Weinstein over 80 times over a 20-year period while raping everybody in the audience, is the same Academy that's going to tell us about.
I mean, she's not lying though. A lot of the actions.
She not lying. That's what's so tripped out. And I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but it was like one of those. It was the nervous laugh that Will gave before he slapped the shit out of Chris Rock.
Oh, can we talk about that? Can we talk about
go
that?
ahead.
Please talk about that.
Motherfuckers act like they ain't never laughed at some shit. My nigga JID said on the lyric, and I felt this shit hit me in my fucking soul. That nigga said, I laugh out loud when I'm mad. I do the same shit. When I get mad, I laugh out loud.
I can't believe this nigga don't think I will beat his ass right now. Like this nigga's crazy.
That, I'm sorry, but that shit trips me out that because he was laughing, he's an actor.
Not only
he was
that,
acting.
he could have been laughing at the previous joke about him needing to win that award. Like he
could
hopes
have been
that Will,
laughing at
like,
what he envisioned Chris looking like after he smacked the shit out of him in front of all these white people at the Oscars.
that. But the
And
joke
then
before
executed this.
the joke before the joke about his wife's hair was about some other couple and him hoping that Will Smith wins the award.
Can
right?
I be real? I don't trust Will Smith's reactions anywhere because he's a fucking actor. Period. That man plays the game well. He's a whole walking brand. I genuinely do feel like he's a nice person, but also at the same time, Will Smith could secretly be the evilest motherfucker on earth, and we would never know it because he is a good damn actor. Like he can
and
act.
We don't know these niggas.
He know how to act for white people, and he know how to act for black people.
We don't know these.
Like
we don't know these niggas.
Make that a sound, nigga. We don't know these niggas.
I'm tired of people looking at the situation. Niggas. He was just laughing. You don't, bro. Yeah, you have no idea what he was laughing at. He could have been laughing at 10 different things at the same damn time. Like that ain't got nothing to do with the fact that he still walked up there and smacked the shit out of Chris. And I know he walked up there with a smile on his face. I know he walked right up to that man with a smile on his face. And
let me ask you guys a question.
Come on, bro.
Let me ask you a question. I know a lot has been made about whether or not like we should just allow comedians to be comedians and allow them to tell jokes and everything else, and it's just jokes. Is there ever a time where, yeah, man, the jokes ain't the jokes, and you should be able to let a comedian know? Is there ever time for that?
Dog, I was just thinking about it. Comedians and jesters have been getting touched for centuries, nigga. You say something wrong, they get in touch. You know, they say something you don't like, off with his head.
And also, too, somebody made a great point. They was talking about back in the Mike Tyson era when he was the heavyweight champion. If you was a comedian back then and Mike Tyson walked in, you wasn't cracking on that nigga like all willy-nilly. Because you knew that motherfucker knock your goddamn head off. And that's the point. You know who you can fuck with and who you can't fuck with.
Do you guys believe that, like, because like I've been seeing a lot of this here. Like I've been seeing a lot of this lately too. Do you guys believe that like suddenly everybody has been waiting for this Will Smith moment to go up and smack a comedian while they talking shit? Then that like now comedians are like, yo man, we got to put out like announcements instead of like now come on the stage.
Hold on, like Jackie just said, comedians been getting into it with people. That is not the first time a comedian has had to fight at a show because either he said the wrong joke to the wrong person or the motherfucker just wasn't funny and he wouldn't sit down. Like, yeah, we're not gonna act like comedians don't get shit thrown at them when they on stage. Don't get booed. Part of the journey to becoming a professional comedian is them telling you how fucking bad it was in the beginning before they were quote unquote funny. So for us to sit here now and be like, cause you told a goddamn joke that you supposed to get a pass for that shit. First off, the joke wasn't funny. Second off, I'm hearing rumors that actually wasn't written by anyone at the Oscars. He did that shit ad hoc. And nigga, you said a joke about a black woman in front of a room full of white people and an audience on television full of white people, man. You needed to be smacked. Like, we need to stop this bullshit of just because you somebody, you can say anything. Okay, nigga, well, you hope you don't say it to the wrong goddamn person. Sometimes physical assault is the only way to get your fucking message across. Maybe if somebody would smack the shit out of Roman Polanski, then he wouldn't be hiding in another country with our fucking Oscar awards and he wouldn't have hurt no damn body else, right? Maybe if somebody would have kicked Bill Cosby in the left nut, he wouldn't went ahead, sat down, did the Cosby Show, act like a genuinely decent fucking human being instead of continuing to be out here raping fucking women until his old blind left-eyed age of 80, whatever the fuck. Like, sometimes a motherfucker needs to be slapped. Sometimes a nigga deserves worse. And the fact that we walking around here thinking that we can just sit people down and talk them out, and I'm not saying Chris Rock is any of these people, but I am saying Chris Rock got the shit smacked out of him because he said some shit about a black woman. And like we're at a point too where a lot of people in general might need to start getting smacked. Like I'm sure a lot of us would love to see Joe Rogan get smacked at this point for some of the shit that he's been saying. Listen, every time somebody throws something at Joe Buttons and it gets caught on camera, I'm watching that shit. I'm watching it every time.
But no, you have to be also
not getting what they deserve.
We can't also not take into the fact that now, ever since that whole August Alsina thing with the entanglements, the discourse around Jada has been very, very nasty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's contributed.
She's a black woman.
I think the commentary around August,
was in a consensual, open relationship, and regardless of what you think about her relationship with August Alsina, it was as consensual and open as possible. Will knew what he needed to know. It's not her fault that young boy thought that she really was going to leave Will Smith.
I think the
I don't know what he
comment,
thought. I don't know.
I think the commentary around August Alsina has contributed to people's attitude around whether or not Jada deserves protection or not.
Yes, that
Isn't that how it usually is for women though?
Right. But I'm just saying, like, the first thing people bring up when it comes to this particular level of disrespect that Will felt that she was experiencing in that moment was, well, why did you didn't have all this energy for August Alsina? And I bring this all the way back to, like I said, with the whole R. Kelly thing. There's a lot of people right now, mostly dudes, who feel as though in this particular moment it's not black women who deserve to be protected. It's black men.
Exactly.
But they always feel like that.
And when it came to, like, when I tied them together when it comes to R. Kelly, because when it came to R. Kelly, it was like suddenly it was everybody's fault but R. Kelly as to why he was in the predicament that he was in.
Well, why they parents dropping him off at the studio?
Why they parents dropping him off? Why these young girls always around him and everything else? Like, yo, y'all forgetting the fact
he was
that this
camped
dude is
out across the street from the middle school.
Right.
Why was they going to school?
He was at Kenwood High School all the time telling these girls he was going to help their careers and everything else, right? And Jada having had that relationship with August Alsina.
Well, Tory Lanez is also 4 feet tall, so I can understand him reaching up onto the keyboard to start the damn.
But in Jada having that relationship with August, like, people automatically assume that, okay, so she's no longer worthy of protection because, well, why don't you have this level of vitriol towards August, not even recognizing or not even like just totally ignoring the fact that, like, yo, they did this red table that y'all keep talking about, like they keep putting their business out on the street. Why didn't y'all hear them when they said, like, yo, we worked through that? Like, this was something that we all knew about and then we worked through, like, and then this became a thing because August decided he wanted to talk about this in another way. Like y'all heard all y'all heard was, oh, so August was smashing them cakes to smithereens. That's all y'all heard. But y'all didn't hear how they dealt with that how they dealt with that relationship. And so, like, they've used August in much the same way that, like, so many people use these young women when it comes to R. Kelly as a way to, like, yo, black men are under attack. And so Will Smith attacked another black man in front of the world, and we've got to come down on Will Smith because we got to protect black men, not so much because Will Smith was protecting his wife, not because Will Smith was protecting his family, but we've got to protect black men because black men are under attack all over the world. And now we got a black man attacking another black man. It's black on black crime.
I mean,
it is the black on black crime on steroids right now.
But sadly, this goes all the way back to the fact that when we were slaves, or the mentality that some men have about when we were slaves, the way they would have reacted to masters and violating black women during that time period was, he violated my wife or he violated my sister, he violated me. Like, them niggas is crying, oh, I've been violated. And that has transferred all the way up until now, where men look at things as property, and the atrocities committed upon the women in their lives, they take as a personal attack on them wholly and separately. Right? They internalize that victimhood then. And they're like, he did that to me. That person violated me. Despite the fact that they weren't actually the victim, the physically assaulted victim, the sexually assaulted victim. But they look at these things as kind of tainting, like, them. Like, oh, the notches on my belt are lesser now because someone violated my property, my wife, my daughter. That shit it's crazy how people take that stuff and make it about them, or how black men will take something like that and make it about them. And it's been happening for years. There's a lot of dudes that look at what Will did and don't see that he did that for Jada. Because if they had did that, it would have been for them. Mm-hmm. It would have been because you don't have the right to talk shit about my wife's alopecia. Only I can talk shit about her alopecia. And that, I didn't give you permission to talk about my wife like that. Not, you don't have the right to disrespect her and violate her, period. In any form, in any area, you don't have that right.
Yeah.
That's not why they react to things the way they react. You got a lot of men out here that act like they defending black women when they doing stuff, but really they defending their own ego and shit.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the woman at all. It has everything to do with how what happened to that woman now makes them look and feel to other men. So they react.
I just want to say that how do we know that Will Smith didn't touch August?
We don't.
I mean, we don't.
We don't. And that was something that was like
And-
I forgot all
That's what I'm
about.
trying
But
to say, like-
that was something I was thinking about too. We don't
Why
know.
y'all think?
We don't know.
I mean, like maybe August Alsina will never sell another record again. It's because Will say so.
And also, like,
You know,
who's
like
gonna who's gonna brag about getting their ass whooped by Will Smith? So
I mean, a real nigga would be like, yeah, man, I fuck around and got my ass slapped by Will Smith. It was a real moment. Like,
Yeah,
we cool
man.
now, but it was a real moment. And everybody like, well, Chris Rock is going to take this situation. He's going to go on tour and he's going to have all these jokes ready to go. Now, I understand that after the fact, away from Will Smith, not in the same room, he going to be on stage in a secure venue.
And another
He
thing,
going to crack jokes. But in that moment, that reaction that he had in that moment,
another
that's
thing that I
going
think
to
is-
live with him forever.
Yeah.
Like that nigga did nothing but
But
go.
the other thing that I
okay.
think is very interesting about what's going on with Chris Rock now is that, like, you know, he's on tour right now. And after he got fire smacked from his face, like the cost of a ticket to go to a Chris Rock show has exploded exponentially. Like, I think they said in Boston, the cheapest ticket was like over $700 to go to their Chris Rock show. And it's amazing because, and like, it was interesting because I was listening to some shit while I was at work, and they were talking about Chris Rock has broken his silence. It's weird how shit is like worded on YouTube. Broken silence, bombshell. Like they really try to get your attention on the YouTube. But like they said, he broke his silence, but he basically was something like, hey man, I ain't really processed all my thoughts on this shit yet. I'll probably speak on it later, but I did write a whole comedy show for y'all. I'm gonna do that, right? And most of the people who were like, yo man, Chris Rock's the man, this, that, and the other, there's a whole bunch of white folks, man. Like, they didn't have not one black person get up there and say like, man, I mean, I get it. If it was my wife, I probably would have wanted to smack his ass too. Like, not one. And it's been weird. Like, you know, we talk about like the opinions because everybody's got them. And I know there might be like one or two white people who are listening to this podcast and shit, right? And they may feel like, hey man, I don't feel like my opinion is being heard here. I don't feel like I have a right to have an opinion here. But like, real talk, when we talking about this, like, white people, it's okay for y'all to sit this one out. It's okay for
it
y'all
ain't
to sit
got
this.
nothing to
They
do with
are
y'all.
This
fighting
really
for
don't
their
have nothing to
life
do
on how
with
they
y'all.
can insert themselves into this. Oh,
But that's when they will. When it's a minority group, when it's an issue with another group outside of theirs, that's when they want to insert themselves. That's when they want to give us their commentary. And, you know, we were looking down on you niggas and the way y'all was acting. And we feel like, you know, that's not really becoming of you darkies. Y'all really should kind of change it up, clean it up a bit.
Not the
But
darkies.
when it's when it's
Color.
Roman Polanski or when it's Woody fucking Allen, all of a sudden they don't got nothing to say. It's
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. I've just been in his movies. I didn't
Yeah.
know Woody was out here touching the kids.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know Roman Polanski was raping actresses.
And it's
On
been
set.
interesting to
Excuse
see,
my
like,
terminology. Sorry about that. But
Sexually assault.
like
It's
that's
cool.
that's
It's
how
cool.
they acted, right? They all would just went about their day and what Woody Allen married one of his own kids?
We hearing from
Crazy, man,
motherfuckers
it's
we
crazy.
forgot all about. Like, I forgot all about
I just
Jim
saw his
Carrey.
new movie last night. So good. He's so Woody's so good.
That Jim Carrey though.
Like, I forgot all about Jim Carrey, and we're hearing from all these white people that I just straight up forgot about. And like
Who
Jim
is
Carrey,
listening to Jim Carrey about
like
anything,
Jim
though?
Carrey,
No, but the
fuck it,
receipts.
George Wallace, man, it was on CNN
George
talking
Wallace?
about George Wallace was on CNN saying that Will Smith needs to be arrested
For a
and
slap.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
and George Wallace
Wallace
was on CNN saying that Will Smith needs to be arrested, that Chris Rock needs to sue him, the whole shit. Like, and he's not white. He's just an older black man.
He's very old black man.
He's an older black man. I get, and I low key, I wish I had invited
George Wallace. That's a strong old black man.
I wish I had invited one of my comedian friends to come on the show to kind of talk about this particular issue, because I really do want to hear from a comedian how they feel about, the idea of there being some sort of retribution from a joke they told on stage. I really feel like that should be like, we should get that perspective, because as I'm hearing from these super duper famous motherfuckers, like, hey man, when you in the club and you say something reckless to a nigga that's like, that might be moving that shit in the hood, do you feel like you safe when you walk outside the club when you leave that bitch? You know what I'm saying? Like,
but Spann, I want you to take a look at the comedians that we have now, compared to the comedians that we grew up on. All right, how many niggas was getting up on stage to fight Bernie Mac? Like, how many niggas was going after Robin Harris, bro? Like, Eddie funny, but I guarantee you back in the day, Eddie and Charlie was ready. Like, them niggas had hands and they was fucking
That's what I'm
ready.
saying. But that's what I'm saying. I feel as though we should probably, it would be like, I feel like this is the conversation, like a current comedian friend that I have. Like, I got a couple of them, but a current comedian friend that I have, like, I really feel like, yo, man, this would be a really good conversation to have them on for, because like, I get that, like, they feel as though, like, on a comedian like perspective or whatever, I don't want to feel like I'm walking on eggshells. I want to be able to feel like I want to be able to like perform my shit. I want to be able to talk shit, make people laugh, this and the other. But at the same time, like, I don't want to be assaulted, and I don't feel like the way in which it's being talked about is as if like comedians are under constant threat of being assaulted, and I feel as if that is being overblown. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got Jordan.
They wanted the smoke.
Yeah, like, I feel as though like when people talk about like, yo man, so we got to put out these announcements now so that people know that you can't come up on the stage. It's like, nigga, people know that shit already, man. You ain't worried about that shit. You think people was waiting for Will Smith to smack fire from fucking Chris Rock before they decided like, hey man, I got the green light now because Will went up there, man. Will walk so I could run. Like, nobody's doing that, fam. Like, nobody's doing that,
People go to comedy shows to laugh. Most people don't go to comedy shows looking to fight anybody, and they know what comedian they're going to see. If you go to an Arnez J show and you sit up front, he gonna roast your ass.
If you go to a D.L. Hughley show,
fucking road dog.
Like, go to a D.L. Hughley show, he gonna roast you. That was like,
but this is not that. Will Smith is at the Oscars. Chris Rock is hosting. He didn't choose that host.
He wasn't even hosting. He was just presenting.
He was just presenting, right? So he didn't choose any of that. The Oscars put that event together. Will Smith, that had nothing to do with what jokes they was gonna have there or what to expect from Chris. He didn't know that man was gonna start an attack on his wife. Like, he didn't know that. And then to be in the front row and he doing that, like, everybody around you laughing and she's sitting there rolling her eyes. Like, you look at her and she like, fuck. But you listening to this just roaring laughter all around you about what's going on. And at that moment, you are a loving husband. You like, how can I defend her? How can I protect her? If you really like that, that's how you feeling.
That joke fell so flat, bro.
It was just bad.
That he had to explain it to the rest of the crowd. Like, oh man, that was a good one. That was a good. It wasn't even that bad.
You gotta follow the joke with that was a good one. Like, and that's the type of shit Chris Rock would say though. That's a good one. He got so used to telling white people jokes about black people, he forgot what happens when you tell those same jokes in front of black people. Like, bro, come on, man. Yeah. Come on, man. Like, and it's you know if you go to the cookout, if you get around your peoples, come on, that if you bump a chair walking past the spades table, somebody might smack your ass. So let's not act like black people ain't been checking black people at black events for the longest. Am I saying we be getting violent with each other? Yes, I fucking am. We do that.
No. Don't do Jim. He's really not wrong, guys. Shout out to Tanya in the chat room.
Is fighting for her life.
Shout out to Tanya in the chat room, man. She been holding the chat room down. You hear me?
That's my
like, don't do Jill.
But she is fighting for her life right now. Like, girl,
calm down on the black rage.
Wildin'.
Listen, no, but here's the deal. How about this? How about Chris Rock And like he said, Jada's irrelevant. She wasn't even invited. So how about you make a joke about Will and the fact, since he's the nominee, it's like you see me, I don't fuck with you, or maybe I said something, sent word to you back in 2016 about the jokes he was making on stage already. So it's probably already out there amongst us, like nigga, like let's not have this, like you ain't gonna do what you did in 2016, whatever. And it's like again and even in 2016, Will boycotted the Oscars. Jada tweeted her support for Will, like, yeah, we not gonna be there. He ain't gonna be there. I ain't gonna be there. Like, you know what it is.
Right.
All of a sudden, so you mean to tell me she's irrelevant and she wasn't even invited? Why didn't you make jokes about Will? Why didn't you drag Will? Why did you target Jada? Because again, I really believe that Chris Rock, based on his material that he puts out, he does not. He didn't even think that someone would be mad that he says some shit about a black woman because he's been talking shit about black women for so long.
Yeah, and I think that's the overall, I think that's like been to me the most disappointing thing is like just kind of watching how many brothers have been okay with like the disrespect of sisters, but also being upset at a man for defending his wife in a way in which he felt was necessary at the time. Now, again, I will say, just because I'm not mad at that dude doesn't mean that I felt like he should have did that. I'm just saying I ain't mad at him.
So here's somebody who should go there. Like I said previously, Russell Wilson sees Future, choke slams him and says, "I thought it was a drought," and then walks off.
Ma'am.
Listen, it's gotta happen.
Foul on the play.
It's gotta happen.
I mean, but I do find it interesting when people act like Russell Wilson is not a fucking NFL player. Like it kind of always blows my mind.
Like Future's druggy ass is gonna really give Russell some action.
I think Future gonna fold.
I think street niggas have been depending a whole lot on the they got hands though. Theory.
It's almost
just,
like
he's small, but he got hands.
It's almost like Markieff Morris. You remember Markieff Morris when he did that shit with Jokic, and and Jokic like put this motherfucker out for about a good month and a half, 2 months from the season.
A whiplash.
Gave that motherfucker whiplash, and then his brother got on Twitter talking greasy, and then Jokic brothers got on there like, "Hey man, we from a war-torn country. This ain't the business you want.
Yeah.
You don't want this smoke, dude." Like, I think oftentimes, man, like people don't realize. Put it like this: you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what people have been through, and you should probably tread lightly when it comes to folks, man. And if they got some smoke for you, like, hey man. My bad. I didn't know. My bad.
And Jada is from West Baltimore, so I mean, you could jump out there if you want to, but trust me, I really do. I don't see Jada have a problem following up with a cross, and then Gammy really will come in, with an elbow clean.
Not
so
Gammy.
I don't Gammy
with the people's elbow.
Gammy. Okay, because Gammy be like, lace up your shoes, because Gammy's still fit.
Indeed. Yo, man, this has been good, man. I appreciate you guys coming to like kind of fuck with your man over here with this.
Russell Wilson killed. Who's gonna kill Russell Wilson? He can smack the shit out of Future any
What's
day.
happening?
Nothing's gonna happen.
Oh no, because Future would shoot him. Like that's all he really would do.
Future ain't no goddamn shooter. Future is over in Europe getting attacked, and his security's getting jumped. Future's walking away. No, babe. Future doesn't. Future can't fight.
Hey, Greg, don't be in the chat room starting shit, man.
Russell Wilson got beat up. I mean, he probably did get beat up in Panama City,
but it wasn't by Future.
Exactly.
It wasn't by Future, but
Future
man,
can't fight at all. And I said he should choke. So he should really come at him, like run at him, get a running start, and just knock him over one good time. What the fuck is Future gonna do?
He's gonna put a beat with mustard on it.
Listen, honey, Future's not the hill to die on, Greg.
Hey, man, real talk. It's time for us to get on up out of here. But of course, before we do, hey, Jack, man, tell the people how to get in touch with you, brother.
Hey, I'm just around.
I know you just around. You a podcast homie, but you ain't podcasting. But you fuck with the fam. So like, tell them how to get at you.
Well, I don't
just
know.
around, man.
I'm just around.
He's just around.
You may see me.
You may see that nigga on Twitter. You may see him on the Facebook.
You may see me, but yeah, I really appreciate y'all having me on, man.
Ain't no thing, brother. No time. Like, I appreciate you wanting to be on, man. Real talk. Phenom, man. Tell him how to get at you.
I mean, I'm always where I've been hiding. So, Instagram, Twitter, Clubhouse.
These niggas is incognito to them motherfuckers.
Facebook.
Like, goddamn.
I mean, and you might be able to find some Atlanta review episodes coming from us soon. So, might be time to dust off your podcast feed and hit refresh. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, man.
Can't wait.
I like, for real, Jack. I'm like, yo, man, it's been a minute. And yo, shout out to Ava, PhenomBlak's little like clone. You know what I'm saying? Like the clone of Phenom is like.
You don't
like,
realize.
Here's the thing. Hold on, Brand.
Good.
The last time we had PhenomBlak on the Spann Report podcast, he wasn't yet a father. He was an expectant father. How has it been, my brother?
And this is just one of the realest like inclinations I've had as a father. You don't realize how terrible of a person you are until you start seeing your kid do that same stuff. You like, oh shit.
I'm in for one.
I gotta.
Oh man.
Damn.
Hey man.
So
it's been beautiful to watch your baby girl grow up, though, man. Real talk. Like,
this is truth.
I see the pictures, man. I see the post on the Instagram. I see them on the Facebook, man. I'm like, man, look at this baby growing up in front of us. Like, she don't even know who the fuck I am. But I'm like, yo, man, I feel like that's my little niece. You know what I'm saying?
I think everybody kind of feel that way.
Yeah. And she looked just like you, fam.
I know,
like
bro.
it's crazy. It's fucking crazy how much Ava looks like Phenom, man. Real talk. But like, beautiful baby girl, man. Welcome to fatherhood, brother. I told you we was gonna talk about it. I was like, yo, man, you saying this shit now. Wait till she get here. And yo, man, it's been beautiful to watch your baby girl grow up, man. Real talk.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell.
it.
I don't know what happened to Cook, man. Cook then like kind of dropped off. But yo, man, y'all can find Cook here on the Spann Report Podcast Network, y'all. She hosts a show called the HIGHly Inappropriate Podcast here on the Spann Report Podcast Network. And when she puts a show out, damn it, that show is going out, and I make sure it gets out. You heard me? But
she said she here.
Oh,
She did say she here in the private. Yep.
Okay, let me pull it back up. Oh, okay, there she go. There she go. There you go. Come on, man. I was like, man, what the fuck happened to Cook?
Look, I promise. Like, you know what? I promise I'm not that stoned, but I don't know. Sometimes
Her show is called HIGHly Inappropriate. Okay.
Yeah, y'all. Thanks for coming. Tanya, girl, we gonna talk about your views about this because sis.
Tanya was in the chat room holding it down.
She was. She stood 10 toes on it.
Holding
How
it
William.
down.
And then you can. I'm in Facebook jail right now, so you won't see me like really on Facebook right now.
How do y'all get in Facebook jail, bro?
Listen, sometimes you can go in Facebook jail not even knowing you in Facebook jail, bro. Like I done been in Facebook jail for some shit I said 5 years ago, didn't even know it.
Bro, I've never been in Facebook jail, and I feel like I pop shit. Maybe I'm not.
Hey, man,
maybe
you ain't pissing off the right people.
I must not be.
It's
I stayed in Twitter jail.
Here.
I've never been in
Incarceration
Facebook
is real.
Yeah, you're not pissing off the right people. You gotta piss off the right people.
I'm not as. I guess I'm just not as like. I'm not as rough as I used to be. I guess I done got soft.
Stop.
I ain't even say nothing crazy. I was talking
Get
about
out of here, man. Get out of here.
Nigga, you can go to Facebook jail just for having a GIF up now, dog. Like I was on Facebook jail for 30 days because like I had a GIF of me hanging myself. My nigga.
This is a serious question. When did everybody shift to saying GIF? Because that's what they GIF.
It's a
That's
gift.
what it's always. It's been GIF forever.
Yeah, old boy passed away last week, so I think everybody saying it correctly now. It is GIF.
But I've been saying GIF. I'm sorry.
Is that like when we when Karich
Like-
Tran laid on Iyanla's bosom and we stopped calling her Karate Chop?
I never called that girl
I didn't know
karate
that
chop.
happened.
Come on, Cook.
We
I mean, I called her a bunch of
Crash
stuff.
Bandicoot,
I
Karate
wouldn't call-
Chop, Carrot Top. All
oh
of that.
my God, man, y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. This is why I love y'all though. For real, man. But let me remind the people like how they can get in touch with us over here at the show though, man. Yo, man, hit me up on a hotline, man, at area code 313-288-0485. That's area code 313-288-0485. Leave those voicemails, and of course, those voicemails will get played here and replied to here live on the show. Email me here, feedback@thespanreport.com. That's feedback@thespanreport.com. Go ahead, watch replays. I'm sorry. Damn it. I'm drunk. Send me those emails. Those emails will get read here and replied to here live on the show. Go to the website, www.thespanreport.com. You can go there, watch replays of the show. You can vote in the polls when we decide to put those polls up. You can donate to the show as often as you like, as much as you like, and we appreciate every dime over here at the Spann Report Podcast Network. Also, Patreon patrons, we appreciate you guys, man, to go to the Circle of the Spann Report Podcast. Y'all allow for us to do this year here live on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and what's the other one? YouTube. Big fucking YouTube. Yeah. Y'all allow for us to do it this way, and we really appreciate you guys for doing that, man. Real talk. But yo, it is time for us to get on up out of here. I will talk to you guys again soon, but until next time, fam, peace.